In tonight's Whatever Happened To segment, the AIDS epidemic. Mike Schlell tweets, the disease dominated the news in the 80s and 90s. How far have we come since then? Well, Mike, tonight Mike Emanuel has some answers.
America faces a disease that is fatal and spreading, and this calls for urgency, not panic.
There was a time back in the 1980s when a diagnosis of HIV was a death sentence.
The median survival was about a year to a year and a half, which meant that 50% of my patients would be dead in a year to year and a half.
More than 35 years later, it's rare to hear about the virus, even though more than 1.1 million people are living in the U.S. with HIV today. One of the highest profile survivors is basketball great Magic Johnson, who stunned the world with this announcement back in 1991.
Sometimes we think, well, only gay people can get it, well, it's not going to happen to me. And here I am saying that it can happen to anybody, even me, Magic Johnson, it can happen.
Dr. Anthony Fauci has advised 5 presidents on HIV, AIDS, and other global health issues.
In 1996, that was the watershed moment when the combinations of drugs were shown to decrease the level of virus to below detectable levels and to keep them there.
In 2003, President George W. Bush launched the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, or PEPFAR, recognizing the HIV/AIDS pandemic threatened to wipe out an entire generation in Africa.
Seldom has history offered a greater opportunity to do so much for so many. We have confronted and will continue to confront HIV/AIDS in our own country. And to meet a severe and urgent crisis abroad, tonight I propose the Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief.
Rock star Bono from the band U2 gave Mr. Bush credit for saving millions of lives, and experts say the investment has delivered.
Entire communities were decimated. Children were living without mothers and fathers. Schools went without teachers. Hospitals went without nurses and doctors. And today, in these same areas, we have nearly 13 million people on treatment because of PEPFAR.
Before leaving office, President Obama noted the incredible tools available to treat and prevent infection.
What once seemed like an impossible dream, the dream of an AIDS-free generation, is within our grasp.
Dr. Fauci says the United States must continue to lead because the fight isn't over yet.
The final holy grail that we're working very hard on is an HIV vaccine. So if you look at everything that's happened from 1981 to today in 2018, if we get that vaccine, that would be the nail in the coffin of HIV.
In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.